Holy cow, we're here. Finally. UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Kavanagh. Absolutely riveting for probably the worst card so far this year. Yeah?
Mexico City, baby.
Yeah. My parents are on vacation in Mexico right now, and they said things are very interesting over there.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're having a real blast. They said they
probably
saw.
getting a good deal.
Yeah, so they said they saw some smoke from like probably car bombs that just blew up in the streets. They saw it in the distance, but I think they're fine.
Yeah,
Oh man. So what was your? I guess we didn't get your recap of Strickland Hernandez. What were,
yeah. No, I mean, I think me and you were both 5 for 6 for different reasons. I remember speaking about not Diego Lopez, Dan Ige. Really wanted to see a win out of him, but unfortunately, he got finished, and so did Jeff Neal.
yeah,
Uh, but the Sean Strickland W was fantastic. It was exactly what he needed to do. Attack the body, kept it standing, provided really good takedown defense, and it came in with a W. And then just a total class act from Sean Strickland. It was a little awkward for him bringing over. I'm blanking on his name. Who did he fight?
Anthony
Anthony
Hernandez.
Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez. Okay, I was making sure it was Hernandez. Uh, Called him over at the post-fight interview and just kind of gave him all praise, and uh, definitely felt good just because Sean Strickland's a pretty divisive figure, and to show how a high level of a sportsman he is really cool. And something I've actually recently seen lately is obviously he's trying to get the belt. Sean Strickland's trying to get the fight with Kamzat, and I didn't know this. I don't know if you have seen anything about this, but whenever Sean beat Izzy and got the belt from him, he was gonna fight. Got offered a fight with Kamzat. Did you know this?
No, I did not know
He got
this.
offered a fight, or he got offered a fight with Hamzat, and he accepted it. And then Hamzat obviously didn't go through with the deal. That was after he beat. Uh, I'm blanking on his name too. Oh my goodness. No knees,
Yeah,
welterweight,
Kamaru Usman.
Usman, Kamara Usman. Yes, Kamara Usman. Yeah, Kamara Usman. After he beat Kamara Usman in October, he didn't accept that fight, and Sean accepted it gladly. And now the tables are turned. Hamzat's got the belt. Strickland wants the belt. Hamzat's nowhere to be seen,
Yep, and
and
he's not fighting anytime
injuries.
soon. He's not
Yeah,
fighting.
supposedly an injury's still among him. I feel like an injury or a sickness is always among him. So I think we need to
Missing
get some
weight.
more movement.
Missing
Missing
weight.
weight, yeah.
Awful, awful. But that's
Yeah.
okay. That and we're getting Paramount's now just cutting off people's mics, I guess, at post fight press like conferences where he was calling out Anthony Hernandez's coach for grooming a minor, and I was like, I want to hear about it. I was like, I want to
Yeah.
if it's true, that's bad.
Did you see the footage about it? I saw the video footage of not the mic getting cut, but him like yelling at the audience. I guess someone recorded that.
Good for
I
him.
mean, yeah, just
Yeah.
saying his 2 cents, sharing what he has to say about the shady industry that occurs whenever coaches end up getting
Yep.
a
That's the
younger
same thing
female.
with
Barry
oh,
and Doug Rose.
what was that guy? Yeah. That and oh god, what was it? Is it Paul? No, it's not Paul Craig. Craig Jones was calling out who's that? Like, he's like that silver haired. He does jujitsu. He's supposed to be like this world champion, but he's like also like a steroid cheat. And it's I don't know. It's
You're not talking about Gordon Ryan. You're not talking about Gordon Ryan.
no, yeah, it's Gordon Ryan. Yeah, yeah. Like
Oh,
Craig.
it's Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So like, and that's why Gordon Ryan like retired because all these things were coming out saying he assaulted women, and obviously there's no room for that in any sport. There never should be. So I hope it's not. I hope it's not true. But if it is, I'm glad he's gone. Obviously, and I don't really care about Gordon Ryan, to be fair.
Jiu-jitsu is fun sometimes. If you're Italian and small and have a good personality,
Yeah, if you're not the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad.
Jiu-jitsu's a sport of dweebs.
True, true. And now they're, what is it? UFC BJJ said they're not allowed to fight for the, is it ADCC, I think, or something. I don't watch UFC jiu-jitsu, but there's some weird stuff going on. I don't know. We're all over the place, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's redirect our focus to, as I said, probably one of the worst cards in recent years. I feel like we've definitely seen worse, but this is probably one of my least favorites. I mean, shout out to Penis. That's his name. That is how you say it. Penis. The first fight, middleweight, very early prelims. That is how you say it. I thought it was a joke. That is his name. So when you look through the roster of, I'm dead serious. That is how you say his name. That's
Penis. Okay.
Yeah, I will be writing with Penis this weekend.
Writing on Penis.
Sure, I will be writing Penis this weekend. But
sounds good.
Yeah, this card stinks. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to talk about the early prelims. There's a lot of great coverage. I do have a couple picks at least for the early prelims that I'll share at the end.
Sure.
That's for the end. We'll share it at the end. But
I'll circle back.
We're just gonna. I only want to talk about the main card. I can honestly care less about the early prelims. I'll still watch them. There'll probably be bangers. There's a lot of flyweights. And bantamweights. I mean, it's just all over the place right now. We do have one catch weight bout. I do not know who this is, but correct. I don't know how you say her name. I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to say it. I believe her opponent pulled out, and so they had to get someone on short notice. So this is who we get from some Tough and Extreme, whatever that is. So, but yeah, this card's a mess. But let's direct our focus. Starting on the main card, we have Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Santiago Luna coming in with a 100% finish rate right now in all 7 of his fights at bantamweight. And he did fight at Noche UFC on 2 weeks' notice and got a knockout in the first, I believe, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 48. The 100% finish rate in bantamweight is a very, very, very impressive. His striking accuracy, I will say this, his ground game is solid. His ground game is very good. He's got 4 submissions by rear naked choke. If he's able to get you kind of back against the fence and he can backpack you, he will get you to tap. And that's definitely one of his strongest weapons. But also on top of that is just the amount of output he has in his strikes. Same thing with Angel Pacheco, but Santiago Luna only a 37% striking accuracy on his punches. Significant strikes, 40%. This is a high volume. This is going to be a high volume fight. Absolutely. Angel Pacheco, when you watch him fight, he really likes to march forward, and eats a lot of shots. He eats a lot of shots. If you watch him back any of his fights, his head movement is awful. It's not good. His hopes is just that he's not going to get knocked out. But if you're coming in to get in some combos or get a punch in, you're also going to eat one before you back out or circle out. So that's kind of his fighting style. Me personally, I'm going to go with Santiago. I'm going to get this right. Santiago Luna. Maybe by decision. I don't know if he gets the finish here. I'm not saying this is a step up in competition, but it is very you know what? I take that back. Give me Santiago Luna by a rear naked choke via submission. That is my pick. I think he's going to back Angel Pacheco up against the cage, and he's going to be able to take his back at some point in the clinch, and he's going to eventually start to work him down. Angel Pacheco has some pretty solid takedown defense, and you can tell here, I mean, these guys don't really shoot takedowns. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but this one should be fun.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly. My thoughts, I'll just break down from strengths and weaknesses for each of the fighters, keys to victory as well. Touched on a lot of it already, Connor, but strengths, I feel like for Santiago Luna, he's got really good wrestling. He's got a lot of rear naked chokes on his record of his professional fights. He's got 2 rear naked chokes, 3 knockouts, so 100% finish rate. Only 21 years old. He's a young man trying to prove himself in the UFC. He's on the main card in his home country, so I think he's got a lot of potential to really showcase the sportsmanship of a Mexican athlete. Kind of the weaknesses I see with him, he does leave his chin exposed a lot in some of his recent fights. And he can sometimes rush for a finish instead of being patient, trying to look for those kind of openings. But for Santiago Luna, I see the key to victory is kind of use those clinches and takedowns to kind of nullify Angel Pacheco's striking ability. I think he can just exploit the cardio for Pacheco, just because I feel like the gas tank on Luna is probably going to be a lot better, being a younger man. But on the other hand, I think for Angel Pacheco, his strength is just raw power. He's got a lot of knockouts under his belt as well. Just a tremendous brawler. But at the same time, he definitely has a lot of openings available within his striking game. He absorbs about 11.47 strikes per minute. So I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of strikes thrown at one another. Also, kind of a grappling gap. I don't think Angel Pacheco has any real grappling ability in comparison to Santiago Luna. I think Angel Pacheco, and if he wants to win this fight, you just got to keep it in the pocket, maybe in the clinch work, kind of work that, force Luna into like a phone booth, I guess, and then just let loose on him. But honestly, if he's able to kind of catch Santiago on on a takedown attempt, I think he could really get him with like an uppercut or a knee and just get a finish real early. So overall, I think my pick is going to go through Santiago Luna by finish. I don't know how it's going to be a finish, but I think it is going to be like a scheduled execution, as a lot of the articles I read today. He's in the home country. Santiago Luna, I think, has a lot to gain and not much to lose with this fight. So that kind of concludes that fight for me.
Yep, it's going to be very disappointing if you lose to a guy who's lost twice in his only fights in the UFC. He's lost every fight. It's only been 2.
I would agree.
Still.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. Santiago Luna, I think we get a little club and sub maybe. Maybe he kind of drops him in one of the later rounds and he tries to scramble back up. Maybe takes his back. We'll have to see. Very interested to see how this goes.
Bantamweight.
Yeah, I just hope it's good. On to the next one, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, so I'll start off with Emmanuel Rodriguez. Lands about nine strikes per minute while maintaining a great defense. He's undefeated in the UFC. Undefeated, not in the UFC, but undefeated with a 100% finish rate in his career. Let's see. He lost via split decision, though. Let me see. But he's not really fought any high-level wrestlers. And, he fought in the Contender Series, so this, I guess, is his first real... Actually, he fought in Ultimate Fighter as well. Cormier versus Sonnen, but he lost via split decision in that.
Yeah, and I think he still trains with Cormier. I have to double-check, so... There's a lot of raw potential here. At 26 years old.
I would 100% agree. I think his keys, Emmanuel Rodriguez's keys to victory: keep the pressure high, try to overwhelm Boras just right at the beginning, just land high volume and try to not take as much damage as possible because Luna's kind of a brawler as well. Not Luna, Boras. Sorry, let me go back and then kind of pivoting to Boras. He's very, very quick on his feet. He also has a lot better wrestling, I'm guessing, than Rodriguez. With Rodriguez, as he mentioned, probably training with Cormier. I'm sure he's working on wrestling, so that's really good. But the weaknesses I see with Boras is kind of his defense. He absorbs about 6 strikes per minute and has got a pretty horrible record at 1-3 in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what his record's at in the UFC.
Kevin Borjas, he's 1-3 in the UFC.
1-3, yeah, 1-3. Okay, I was just confirming that. He does not throw a lot of volume to keep up with a high-paced person like Rodriguez, I think. Keys to victory for Boras, though: keep the level changes, use boxing to set up any takedowns, and maybe make some fakes early on, and then kind of get Rodriguez to fight off the back foot. And I think just tighten up the guard to avoid Rodriguez's early power shots, because I'm sure Rodriguez is going to be blitzing in, trying to get some sort of finish. Both young men. Um, let's see what I think. I'm looking at the betting odds as well. Kind of want to take into account that.
Yep. One thing to mention about Manuel Rodriguez, he trains at American Kickboxing Academy, which does have Daniel Cormier, but it also has Javier Mendez, which is pretty interesting. And then as well, Habib apparently coaches there occasionally. I didn't know
He
that.
makes his appearance.
Yeah, just every now and then.
Okay.
It looks like sometimes he corners fights. I don't know if those are. Yeah, maybe he just trains there.
Habib Nurmagomedov, the striking ability of him, that's something to keep note of.
Whoa.
Realistically, throwing shots. No, I think this is going to go to probably a decision. I think probably Manuel Rodriguez decision win. Maybe even a finish. I don't know. I'll keep it at Manuel Rodriguez money line. I'll just stick with that.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I want to note is that Kevin Borjas absorbs about 6 strikes a minute. But also, let's not think like Kevin Borjas isn't exactly he's not horrible. He's not great by any means, but he also has 8 wins by knockout. But yeah, he is 1-3 in the UFC. I just don't think he was ready, I guess, for the level of this, competition. Emmanuel Rodriguez, I mean, what is he, 5'5" or 5'4"? Oh my gosh, he's 5'4". I thought he was 5'5", from what I read around. But he throws big shots. I mean, that's his average fight time is very, very short. I only think it's a few minutes. And he, as I said, the guy does not really go to decision, other than he had his split decision loss, as you said, on the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, like, holy cow. I think he has, that's his only decision. Every win has come via finish. And if you watch him fight, he throws big. He throws very, very big. But that could come an issue where we get into the 3rd round and maybe he is starting to gas a little bit. I mean, if you're throwing big shots, even if you are a flyweight, you are going to gas out at some point. So I'm very interested to see maybe if we get into round 2 or 3 what that looks like. But I do like Emmanuel Rodriguez by decision. I think that maybe he's not able to knock down Borjas, or he's not really getting him kind of backed up against the cage, cutting him off as he tries to rotate out. And maybe we get out of the first, like we clearly win the first round off of some big shots. We get into the second, maybe we're a little tired. Maybe we're kind of doing a little bit of clinch work or some grappling, trying to get a takedown. He does have 1 finish by rear naked choke. I think this comes very, very late. And if there is a finish, I think it comes, as I said, maybe round 3. But I think this one probably goes to the scorecard. I do like Emmanuel Rodriguez by decision. I do like that pick.
Lock that in.
It's hard to see. Moving on. Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunez. Chairez, fast. I mean, he's very, very, very fast. I don't really have too many notes about it. He definitely really likes to utilize his jab a lot, and he likes to use his quick hands at range. He doesn't really overextend exchanges if he has to. Edgar Chairez, quick. He's lethal too. He is not afraid of attempting a submission if he can start working for it. I think he's coming off of a submission win on the Moreno versus Urseg card, but he did lose to Joshua Van. Joshua Van. And he also lost to Tatsuro Taira, 2 of the potential champs. So it's really hard to argue kind of with, like, say anything bad about his record. I mean, he only went against the best. And he also did lose to Clayton Carpenter. I do remember telling you about Clayton Carpenter a couple years ago. I think that was a Dana White Contender Series fight that really got me into Clayton Carpenter. I don't really even know what he's doing anymore. But yeah, Edgar Chairez coming in as, I think he's like a -500 favorite, I think, versus Felipe Bunez. I don't really think there's too much to say about Bunez other than just be ready for war. I hope you've been working on your cardio, buddy. I was like, that's kind of the big thing. I guess maybe kind of what we can do to win, I think, for Bunez at least, is making sure we're attacking that lead leg. If Chairez is going to keep jabbing you at range or trying to extend you at range, just keep attacking his leg and maybe hope to get a takedown and try and work you on the ground. But Chairez is also pretty good on the ground too, so It's hard for me to make a case for Bunez. I think we get Edgar Shirez. I think he probably drops Bunez, maybe gets on his back, maybe gets a submission, but I think either Edgar Shirez by submission or knockout is kind of the pick. I think he's going to be hunting for this finish. I don't think we're going to see the scorecards in this one. Anytime he takes more or less, I would say, a step down in competition, he's finishing them in the first. Yeah, give me Edgar Shirez within the distance.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'll lock that in. I'll kind of follow up with my thoughts on this fight. Shirez, as you mentioned, stiff jab, very good with high power hooks. Uh, Kind of a submission threat as well. He's got a couple of submissions on his record. But some weaknesses I kind of found was his takedown defense. He doesn't seem to be. He's at 33% takedown defense, so that's not very good. And with Felipe Bunez being a potential grappler, I think he has the potential of getting him taken down. Also, it seems to be absorbing a lot of strikes per minute. 42% defense rate. Edgar Shirez's kind of keys to victory I saw was keep the fight on the feet, just prioritize footwork and sprawling to try to keep it on the feet, and then kind of utilize counterpunching, especially if Bunez tries to crash in and try to get a takedown. I think he needs to get a punch off the back foot and maybe get a finish. Excuse me. And then Bunez, for strengths, probably grappling as well. He's got a lot of finishes on his record, I think. Let me look. Yeah, he's got quite a lot for being what is this? A flyweight fight? Yeah, a flyweight fight. A flyweight that can finish is always impressive. But he's also age 36. He's definitely getting up there in age. I think his keys to victory are kind of attack the hips, try to get those takedowns, and then kind of maintain top control, and then try to kind of gas him out. But I think Edgar will probably end up getting some sort of defensive ability and try to get that knockout or some sort of finish. Just because, I mean, his two losses, as you mentioned, are from
Decisions.
the two fighting for the belt now.
Yeah, decision losses, so it's not like he's getting finished either.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, I don't know. I think flyweights aren't really throwing heat as much as you would think, but we shall see. And just wanted to point out, Felipe Bunez also has a loss to Josh Van via knockout. So I think Edgar Chairez could get maybe even a finish, but I'm just going to go with Edgar Chairez money line. Do that.
Yeah. Moving on. Oh.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
King Green. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
You want to start? I'll let you start on this one.
Yeah, so Zellhuber versus King Green, Bobby Green. I really do like this fight. I think it is an opportunity for Zellhuber to kind of make his name in the UFC. I mean, I hate to say that because it's Bobby Green, but I mean, that's kind of what Paddy Pimblett did to get in the rankings. He beat Bobby Green, and I mean, he's no shade on Bobby Green. He's a real scrapper, you know. I'll focus on some of his strengths. He's got a lot of fight experience. He's got a very unorthodox style where he uses that shoulder roll and low hand position to kind of confuse opponents. Throws a lot of punching volume and will always like to chirp mid-fight, which I think is definitely kind of a distraction. So I definitely think that can really play in his favor. But some weaknesses I see, obviously he's significantly older. He's age 39, and he has definitely slowed down with his age. In addition to that, he kind of prioritizes showboating sometimes, especially in the winning minutes where he could get a finish. But he definitely has some decent grappling ability as well. I don't know. Let me see. I don't even think he has. Does he have any submission finishes? I'm unfamiliar with that. He's more of a striker, if I'm not mistaken. But he got a submission on Tony Ferguson, which, I mean, Tony Ferguson's he's a legend in this household. So let's keep it PG.
7 streak loss, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end. Moving on.
Tripping on the wire.
Yeah. keys to victory for him. Keep that boxing. Utilize that boxing ability he has, and kind of maybe utilize that head movement to bait Zellhuber to go in and try to overcommit to a strike, and Zellhuber can maybe get struck. So definitely think Bobby Green has a potential to win this fight. Zellhuber has definitely been a disappointment to me because I did get his autograph card. I pulled that card out of a UFC booster box. I want to see him win. Honestly, he's a Zellhuber has the potential to become a very well recognized Mexican fighter. His strengths, he's massive for that weight class for lightweight. He's 6'1" with a huge reach. He definitely has a lot of high-paced matches within his repertoire. Let me look back. I think, was he the one that fought at the Sphere against Esteban Ribovics, I think? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes, that was the split decision loss to Esteban Ribovics. And that was an absolute banger of a fight. That was probably my favorite fight on the Sphere card. And my goodness, he really just showed that he really is just a tremendous athlete. Weaknesses I see with Zellhuber, though, he absorbs a lot of strikes. He's pretty one-dimensional with very low grappling output. But I think his keys to victory kind of utilize that reach he has, manage the distance, keep Green at a distance, and kind of try to negate that inside boxing kind of King Green's known for, and maybe try to land a big power shot and kind of try to find that rather than trying to match King Green's kind of volume of kind of brawling tech. So that's my thoughts. I think, let's see, I do like both these fighters. I kind of want to see Bobby Green win. I see Bobby Green getting finished, but let's say I'm going to root for Bobby Green, but I think Daniel Zellhuber is going to get a finish. So I'll call it at that.
Yeah, if you're gonna like what I have to say here, Zellhuber. I mean, we're coming in with a 6-inch reach advantage. We're also 2 inches taller, and this almost kind of reminds me of King Green versus Rufy. Obviously, Zellhuber is not Rufy. Let's lay that out there. It's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But he loves to utilize his kicks and his jabs at distance. I mean, he has the reach. You might as well. One thing that I'm going to say here is just throw shit. It's Bobby Green. You're probably going to knock him out. Like, I hate to say it. I like Bobby Green.
He's chinnable.
He's very, very chinnable. And I think Zellhuber, when you watch some of his fights back, I mean, yeah, he's got 2 losses recently, but I mean, his kicks are big. I mean, he has the time to wind these kicks up, and we'll just have to see. But for King Green, at least, he's got to watch out for these leg kicks. We don't want a repeat of what just happened with Mauricio Rufy. I did say make him box with you. I think that if King Green's able to kind of get, maybe not that dirty boxing style, but able to make Zellhuber not just strike at distance, but get close and into some closer exchanges and fill that void, I think that he can more or less negate the massive reach that Zellhuber has. He definitely struggles with boxing exchanges and close. When you look at the loss to Michael Johnson was just able to get in there inside of his void and just throw. And it worked, and he won. I think Bobby Green could do the same thing here. Keys to victory for Bobby Green is survive. That is what I've put. Survive and just have fun. Just have some fun.
Who's wrecking this fight? Who's wrecking this fight, by the way? Who's wrecking this fight? I want to see if it's Herb Dean. If it's Herb Dean, he might die. I'm just thinking about what Bobby Green versus Jalen Turner. That fight.
Dan Mergley. Oh my God, yeah. Stop, he's already dead. It's just
no.
That one was bad. That one was really bad. But my final thoughts is I'm going Zellhuber by knockout. I think he probably gets a big kick off. Maybe he gets a big kick to the body against Green where I think he hurts him. I think if he hits enough leg kicks like he likes, he will hurt Bobby Green at some point with his kicks. And just lay him out. We maybe see drop him, and then we get some follow ups. I don't think we're getting a ground and pound by any means, but I think Zellhuber's going to try and work him against the cage and kind of close him off so he can't rotate out and try and hunt that finish. I think he definitely needs a finish to get in the good favor of any matchmakers. So give me Zellhuber by knockout. That is my final pick.
Hate to say it. Hate to say it.
This one's gonna upset me. Chito Vera versus David Martinez. I don't even know what to say anymore. I am thoroughly disappointed with Chito Vera.
I mean, look at his loss record isn't even that bad.
He's 1-4 in his last 5. But I will say the Zahabi was by split decision. Yeah. That Zahabi fight was not bad. The only thing he had to do was just open up a little more. And he dropped Zahabi. He knocked him down. All he had to do was get a couple, follow-ups and really just get that round under, and maybe he would have won. But he just lets them get back up. He'll do this like little tit for tat shit where he's throwing, some kicks. He'll throw some punches. He'll get something maybe big off and then just have zero follow-up. Like, what are we doing? I need him to, the keys to victory, open up, press on the gas a little bit. We need to do something. I mean, he's going to stand. We know he's going to stand and box. Absolutely. We know he's going to stand and box. He's got 0 takedowns landed in his last 8 fights. I don't even know how many he's attempted, but he's not going to try and take you down. We're going to get a fight on the feet. And I personally think that the only thing Chito Vera has to do is just take up the center of the octagon and just push, just keep moving forward and throwing some big exchanges. I mean, Martinez's last fight, if you watch his last fight, he just spent majority of it rotating around the octagon and occasionally getting some counters off, and it was enough. But I will say for Martinez, he at least likes to use his kicks to keep distance, especially when he's rotating outside the cage. He likes the side kick. He was kind of spamming the side kick in his last fight, which I thought was a little weird. And he does this weird thing where if he kind of lunges forward, he just throws a jab, and that's really about it. He just kind of, lurches forward, throws the jab, and then, takes up space, and now he's trying to get, another exchange going. He's got 2 takedowns in his last fight. He had 1 single attempt in his other 2 UFC fights. So, I mean, this one's going to stay on the feet, I would think. I will say, his right hand is huge, especially if you look at the fight against Rob Font. I mean, he is throwing a bomb with that right hand. I think the only thing really for Martinez, if he wants to win, is just continue to utilize your counters. He's probably going to be circling outside the octagon. Chito Vera is not usually walking backwards. So I think David Martinez mostly walks out with a decision win, but for me, at least, I think Chito Vera can win this. I think this is the one he needs so badly. He has the crowd on his side. All he has to do is just put on a little more volume. His coaches in the corner are begging him just to go. And I think maybe something turns on where he just goes. So I'm going with Chito Vera by decision, probably by a split decision. Most likely by split decision.
Yeah. I'm very, very torn on this fight. I mean, Chito, he's got that iron chin. He's a solid defense, can pretty much eat a lot of these shots, and he's big. He's pretty big for the bantamweight division. He's got those powerful leg kicks. He's kind of a sniper, I would say. Very physical fighter, but I do think he is a slow starter. As you mentioned, he just needs to step on the gas a little early and maybe get those early rounds on his side. He also he eats shots. He eats a lot of shots, and he's also on a 3-fight losing streak, as we said. If he wants to win, he just needs to kind of stick to the long range sniping, keep the distance, but not get behind on the scorecards, because he really does tend to just be slow at the beginning and kind of get behind, and then has a sense of urgency at the end where he starts actually opening up. I mean, it was a split decision losses against Zahabi. That was a banger of a card, but I mean, Zahabi won by decision, probably won rounds 1-2, right? If I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at the scorecards, but
I
Dave
would have to
Martinez on
look.
the other side. I mean, younger, play faster, very mobile striker, pretty good takedown defense. He's not going to get taken down, but he is smaller, very fast. I think if David Martinez wants to win, he just needs to kind of stick and poke, just utilize his footwork, probably his speed to try to overwhelm Vera and do what I just said. Win rounds 1 and 2, and pray to God that he doesn't open up in round 3 and actually try to look for a finish. But I do think that if he tries to look for a finish, Vera might counter and get a finish as himself. So, I mean, when was the last time Cheeto got a finish? I don't even know when he got a finish
Was the last
last.
time he had one? I just know he's never
Yeah,
been finished. Yeah, that's
I know
that,
he's never been finished.
record is
Not,
nuts. I mean, you look at his record; it's crazy.
he
It's
knocked out Dominic Cruz in 2022. I mean, it is Dominic Cruz. It is
yeah.
Dominic Cruz,
Whoa, whoa.
but
He also knocked out Rob Font. Whoa, and Frankie Edgar. Whoa.
excuse
Hey,
me.
was it Andy finished Sean in the first round?
Oh my goodness, he did finish
He did.
Sean
Let's
down.
not forget.
But I mean, I see. I'm very very torn. I think David Martinez probably gets a decision win. I don't want to say that. I'll
Yeah.
actually screw it. I'm gonna go with Vera. I'm gonna go with Cheetah Vera. I'm gonna go. Cheetah needs it. He's low
Ooh.
in the rankings. He's very low in the rankings, and I think this might be the point where he's like make or break. And is he even ranked in the bantamweight division anymore?
I think he should be, right?
I sure hope he is, because I mean I love Cheetah Vera. He's a tremendous guy. I mean,
I went too far. Yeah, he's ranked number 9. He's ranked number 9.
I mean, urgency's there. He needs to get a win. He needs to be back in the win column. So I'm gonna go Cheetah Vera by decision as well. I'll ride with you.
Yeah, let's ride with it. Let's ride with it. Moving on to the last one. Brandon Moreno versus Kavanagh. Brandon Moreno coming off the KO loss to Tyra. Some say early stoppage, but I mean, if he's shelling up and just not doing anything and not moving, they're going to stop it. I mean, he was conscious. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He was conscious. But you can't just sit there and just eat shots from your back, turtle up, and just not move. You got to do something. So, it's a little early, but I would rather we save, a couple brain cells for, fight. Maybe that's a little more important coming down the line. But, I mean, Tatsuro Taira did pop him. I mean, he did pop him. Brandon Moreno, last 2 wins were against Steve Erceg and Amir Albazi by unanimous decision, which I don't think the Amir Albazi, I don't really think either of these wins do anything for me. I mean, Steve Erceg at the time was definitely better than current Steve Erceg. I mean, you look at the fight, he's not really super active in his striking, especially in the Tyra fight. He was just sort of waiting for Tyra to shoot these takedowns, which we got a little grappling exchange in the first round where he did nothing but hold a triangle that wasn't even tight for 2.5 minutes, I think. I don't know if you remember this whole lot of nothing. Fun fact, his first time losing inside the distance was against Tyra. Something about him, too, is he really likes to pop in during exchanges, and he just kind of gets back to range. He's not really kind of taking up the space that he's created. He's only scored 4 takedowns in the last 2 years, which I didn't know. 3 against Brendan Royval and 1 against Steve Erceg. Crazy. I think the keys to victory here for Brandon Moreno is just show there's some levels to this shit, especially for Kavanagh, who is very, I would say, very, very new to the promotion. I mean, he's only 9-1. Brandon Moreno has 23 wins. Yeah, sure, 9 losses, but he's got a lot of experience. For Brandon Moreno, maybe we just up the volume a little bit. Maybe get a little aggressive, maybe work your ground game a little bit, but I just want him to occupy the ring. And maybe we get to the point where we're in round 3, no one's finished. Now we're starting to push Kavanagh here. We're getting into round 4. We're getting into round 5. We're gassed. We're not used to these championship rounds like Moreno is. So I think that's definitely something to take advantage of. So we're going to drag him into deep waters. Maybe Kavanagh gets dragged into some deep waters he's not used to there in the 4th and 5th round if he doesn't get the finish that he's probably looking for. For Kavanagh, at least, he's coming off a KO loss to Charles Johnson. Shout out Charles Johnson, one of the most back and forth fighters that I'm a fan of. Charles Johnson, what a guy. Coming off the KO loss, Charles Johnson. I mean, he got popped. He got caught, like bad. Kavanagh is definitely he's way more high volume in his striking than Moreno, at least, and he really likes to utilize his leg kicks during some exchanges. And there's even some kicks to the body, which if you watch his fight with I think it was Santos, who is it? Felipe dos Santos. If you kind of watch that fight back, he had Santos kind of touching his body there in the third round. He was doing a lot of damage with those leg kicks to the body. I think Kavanagh doesn't really mind shooting takedowns if he has to. I think he landed 4 against Felipe dos Santos out of 6, which is pretty impressive. I mean, especially against a Brazilian. That's pretty impressive. His elbows are super quick too. He likes to utilize those, and he will kind of push you to the cage for exchanges where he has you backing up, and that's where he's trying to get a big shot off, whether it's with his elbows or with a hook, or an overhand. And he really likes to set up for ground and pounds. If he's taking you down, he's trying to get you down so he can just start punching you. He's not really hunting for a submission finish. Keys to victory, at least, I would say just utilize your kicks, especially front kicks, knees up the middle. If you watch Moreno in any of his fights, he kind of keeps his head low, and his head is very, very low in his stance. He's kind of like standing back, and his head is super low. His stance is pretty wide. Just keep him pushed back. Don't really leave him much room for him to shoot any takedowns he might, which I don't really think we're going to see too much from Brandon Moreno in this fight. I'll be honest. I think he'll just kind of work the cage, maybe occupy a little bit. And for Kavanagh, just have some fun, man. But be wary of the gas tank. If these are championship rounds. Yeah, we're gonna get in round 4 or 5 if we have to, and things may start looking pretty ugly. We may get gassed out, after the second round or the third. So it's gonna be interesting. Isn't Kavanagh taking this on 2 weeks' notice? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, that was a big point I was going to mention. Moreno was originally scheduled to fight Asu Ambayev.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. So I think for me, you could take Brandon Moreno. I personally have Brandon Moreno over 3.5 rounds. I think he either gets a finish or he's getting a decision. I think he might get a finish there in one of these later rounds, maybe the 4th or the 5th round. And if he's not, he's definitely winning them at least. He's going to show a little more experience. Maybe he walks out with like a round 2. He wins round 2. Maybe Kavanagh comes off a little hotter in round 1, and maybe Kavanagh's trying to get a lot of damage out because he realizes if I get into round 4 or 5, I'm kind of screwed. I'm not used to these, and I'm also taking on short notice. So I think if Kavanagh gets into round 3, he's definitely going to be trying to actively hunt for a finish, and if he doesn't get it, I think he kind of blows his gas tank early, and then Moreno is just kind of dragging him down for the next 4 or 5. So I think Moreno probably wins one of the first 3 rounds, and then if he doesn't get a finish within the 4th or the 5th round, I think he wins the 4th and 5th round, and yeah, we'll have to see. So that is my pick for this fight, at least.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Could not agree more with you, honestly. I mean, you kind of touched on pretty much everything I was going to say. Brandon Moreno, he's been with the best of the best. Great boxer, great grappler, great cardio. I mean, and pretty good deep takedown defense. Kind of the only weaknesses I see is, I mean, he has kind of been on not a losing streak, but a losing stint, I would say. I mean, he's the former champion. So currently, was he 5-5 in his last 10 fights? And so he's kind of inconsistent. Kind of has a slow start.
Looks like he had a draw against Figueiredo in 2020. Lost to Figueiredo 2022. Looks like lost split decision against Pantoja. And then, it's just...
And that's Pantoja. Yeah, it's Pantoja.
When you... Also, the wins, too, it's like... I guess definitely his best win recently is against Davison Figueiredo in 2023, kind of before we have current, we have current Figueiredo.
I mean, Mira Bazzi's good. Mira Bazzi's very good. And Steve Erceg's okay. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, but you beat Figgy, and Figgy's great. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's just... it's such a weird... I mean, knocking out Brendan Royval, 2020 Brendan Royval, is still pretty impressive.
That's Brian. He's a former champ, too.
Yeah.
Right? Did Brendan Royval have a belt? I think he had a belt for a little bit.
He had the belt...
Yeah.
No, he lost. Well, actually, he had... No, he lost to Pantoja, of course.
Gotcha.
So he had a title shot, just never got it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think that's what we're looking at. I don't know if you have anything else to say. I kind of think that's what we're looking at.
No, I mean, you kind of touched on it. He just needs to kind of withstand Kavanagh's kind of firepower. I mean, he's probably going to go in, open up, get gassed. I see Brandon Moreno getting a decision win just by overpowering him in the later rounds. I mean, Kavanagh just needs to blitz in, probably try to aim for a finish, but I just don't see Moreno getting finished, unfortunately. Moreno might try to get a takedown later in the fourth and fifth round, and I think Kavanagh just needs to avoid that if any way possible. Just because if he's controlled on the ground, he will lose the fight. He will 100% lose the fight. So, Brandon Moreno by decision. That's my final pick.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it for the main card at least. I think some early prelim fights to at least highlight, for me at least, and I'll go through kind of my bets that I have open at the moment. First bet is Chito Vera by decision plus 425, which it's value. That's value. Edgar Shirez by knockout or submission minus 135. Zellhuber by knockout plus 150. Brandon Moreno money line over 3.5 rounds plus 130. And then we kind of get into some of the other fights where we have Emmanuel or Imanol. Is it Imanol or Emmanuel? I don't.
Memo. I think it's a memo.
Is it? Okay. Apologies if we mispronounce. Yeah, if we mispronounce it, that's my bad. Him to win and then over 1.5 rounds plus 110. Christian Quinones. I am so bad at some of these last names. By knockout, he has a lot of power in his punches, and I mean he's literally being put it like that's the issue with this card. We're literally just trying to get like dudes out of like just free wins. This guy also got slept by Malcolm Wellmaker. Holy cow! Yeah, that makes sense.
What? That's Chris Motino, bro. He's got that famous banger with Sean O'Malley.
That's
right?
yeah, by
the highlight reel.
Another highlight reel. So that's kind of what we're looking at, is just another highlight reel at least. But Quinones by knockout minus 115. Santiago Luna by knockout plus 145. And then, so that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, 6. 7 picks at least, which is kind of a lot. I might take one of those off the table. And then I have my hee-hee-ha-ha parlay, which I think I'm hoping we get a lot of finishes on this card. We should. I don't think there's any reason we shouldn't be getting finishes with the matchmaking that we're getting.
I think, can we get over under on finishes? I think there's going to be under 3 finishes.
That's crazy.
3 or less finishes.
That's
on the main card.
Oh, main card. Okay. I was about to say, what are you saying? I was like, what are you saying? Here's the good one, though. Ryan Gondra by knockout, plus 130. Christian Quinones by knockout, minus 115. Damian Penis, minus 140. And then fight not to go the distance, Zellhuber versus King Green. In one big parlay, that is... I don't even know the odds. Let me look here. The odds on that are 11 plus 1,110, so...
Free money.
Yeah, it's a lot. Just have some fun on this card. This card's meant to have fun. There should be a lot of finishes in these early prelims. Upset potential. This one, the Silva de Andrade. I could see Silva de Andrade kind of squeaking out a win here versus Reyes. Kind of outside of that, there really isn't a whole lot of upsets. I think this and then Penis versus Schultz. I think that's kind of where you get your upset potentials, but I just think Penis just walks through this guy, Schultz. I hate to say it. That's what I got. You got any locks in, or have you not even put yours together?
I haven't got it all this week.
Oh my god!
Not worth my money.
You sure? Okay.
No. I'll probably put something. I'll put something down tonight.
Yeah, I think the lock has to be Chito Vera. It has to be by decision.
He needs a win.
He has to do it. It's now or never, as you said. If it's not now, then it's never happening again, and we need to talk about like retirement because I do not want to watch him go out there and have another frustrating loss that's just going to piss me off. I don't want to see that.
Hold on a second. Is Macy Chiasson? I know I'm vouching that. Yeah, she's ranked eight in the women's bantamweight division.
What about her?
I'm just pointing out that she is a eight ranked fighter. Beat Mayra Bueno Silva by Doctor Stoppage. I remember this fight. I'm just very vividly. She's been on a losing streak. So I mean, we shall see. Alina Perez. Hopefully, we'll get a little butt shaking at the end.
It's all a man can hope for. It's all a man.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, do whatever. I don't care.
Share.
Yeah. Please share the video, please.
And we'll see you guys next week for reactions, and then for the big one, the BMF.
Yep. That is that's next, right?
Yep.
Thank God. And then we get to see what is this? Sorry, this just pissed me off. I looked at the card after. We have Josh Emmett on. Speaking of frustrating losses, shout out Josh Emmett. But I am excited to cover UFC 326. I got a lot of things to say, just as I'm sure you do, but we'll leave it till then. I'll get my reaction video probably out after. Maybe not the same night. I might go get a couple drinks with my Hispanic friends, my Mexican friends, so I can get indulged in the culture if I'm going to be watching, Mexico Fight Night. Should be good. I'll be drinking Modelo Negras all night. Fire. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm going to do.
Well, enjoy. I'll have a cerveza on your behalf.
I appreciate it. We'll see you guys later. Peace.